were inaugurated, while essential district-level infrastructure has been completed, including at Kamjong and Kaching, enhancing the administrative capacity. Connectivity infrastructure are being taken up in both hill and valley areas. Arterial roads in hill district headquarters are being upgraded under SASKI at a total cost of about Rs 174 crore. Further critical works totaling about Rs 118 crores, such as Kengseng Ashang Khulen Bridge, the Kamjong Bungpa Khunau Road, and the Kelphundai Tausam State Highway are being implemented to improving access to remote and border areas. Urban mobility is also being strengthened through the Manipur Urban Roads, Drainage and Asset Management Project in the Greater Imphal area, while the Mau-Kedima Road is being developed to ensure uninterrupted interstate connectivity at a cost of Rs 10.45 crore. The improvement of Imphal-Yaripok State Highway was completed with funding from NABARD at a total cost of Rs 37.51 crore. The Wabgai-Lamkhai-Sugnu-Lamkhai State Highway in Kaching has been sanctioned at a cost of Rs 45 crores. To promote women's empowerment, 10 working women hostels are constructed across district headquarters, including Imphal East, Imphal West, Ukhrul, Tamenglong, Senapati, Jiribam, Kampoki, Churachandpur, Bishnupur and Kaching at a total sanctioned cost of Rs 149 crores. Additionally, extensive district administrative infrastructure are being implemented across Farzol, Jiribam, Tangkupi, Technopal, Kaching, Kamjong, None and other districts at a total cost of Rs 160 crores. My government is committed to inclusive development with enhanced connectivity serving as a vital catalyst for equitable growth across all regions. The ISBT at Khuman Lampak was recommissioned with all Manipur state transport and interstate buses operating exclusively from this ISBT, resulting in improved traffic management and a more orderly public transport system. To ensure equitable access to transport services, 4 new district transport offices at Jiribam, Farzol, None and Kamjong were established, covering all districts of the state. To improve connectivity in remote and underserved areas, helicopter services are being expanded and are currently operational between Imphal and Tamenglong, Ukhrul Churachandpur, Senapati More, Jiribam and Mizoram. Under the RCS Udan 2.0 scheme, 2 helipads at Jiribam and Parbung have been completed, while the remaining are under construction. Further scheduled air services under the Viability Gap Funding Scheme are being operated on Imphal Dimapur, Imphal Guwahati and Imphal Kolkata routes, with the Imphal Silchar route under consideration. The cargo terminal building at Imphal International Airport has been completed and is ready for inauguration. The facility will enhance air cargo capacity and strengthen Manipur's connectivity with national and international markets. Citizen-centric governance was strengthened by expanding contactless services by adding 6 new services, increasing ease of service delivery for a total of 37 services. An e-auction system for fancy vehicle registration numbers was also introduced. Overall revenue collection for the department increased significantly from Rs 53.60 crore in 2024-25 to Rs 86.83 crore in 2025-26. As part of our commitment to passenger safety, vehicle location tracking devices under Nirbhaya framework for public transport vehicles was initiated, starting with Manipur state transport buses, and will be further expanded to all commercial vehicles across the state. To further address urban congestion and parking shortages in Imphal city, installation of 2 multi-level or rotary parking systems was approved and feasibility reports initiated. Under the Swachh Bharat Mission 2.0, significant strides in urban sanitation and waste management were made. Solid waste management infrastructure has been strengthened with the construction of compost pits totaling 56 TPD across 22 urban local bodies. In public sanitation, 16 seats of normal public toilets, 10 inspirational toilets and 29 urinals have been completed, with an additional 54, 10 and 45 seats respectively under progress. A 20 KLD fecal sludge treatment plant is also under construction. 16 urban local bodies have achieved ODF Plus certification, while Jiribam Municipal Council has attained ODF Plus Plus. and a 3-star garbage-free city status. Imphal Municipal Corporation has earned 1-star GFC certification, and Jiribam was named the promising Swachh Shekhar of Manipur in the northeastern region under Swachh Survekshan 24-25. Under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban Housing for All, 3,525 beneficiaries have been approved across 13 urban local bodies. Rupees 1.725 crore were released as the first installment of central assistance for these projects during the year 25-26. Till date, 19,853 houses have been completed, while another 28,431 houses are under construction. The Imphal Smart City Initiative also achieved key milestones. Phase 2 of the Imphal Riverfront Development, the Thangal Bazar Mall Road Development, and the GIS-based property tax module have been completed and inaugurated, with a total project cost of about Rs 96 crore, further enhancing urban infrastructure and governance. During a period marked by unprecedented challenges, the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme has continued to provide vital income support to youth and internally displaced persons, while engagement in community works has fostered rehabilitation and social cohesion. During 25-26, Manipur received its highest ever labour budget of 400 lakh person days, with a record allocation of Rs 2,000 crore, reflecting confidence in the state's commitment to inclusive growth. So far, over 208 lakh person days have been generated, providing an average of 40 days of work per household, with nearly 60% of total persons day contributed by women and over half by scheduled tribe communities. During the year, more than Rs 900 crore has been effectively utilized, with a strong focus on wage payments and productive asset creation. Under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin, 1,01,549 houses have been sanctioned, with construction started on 90,833 houses, out of which 27,249 have been completed. Additionally, the PMAY-G Awas Survey 2024 covered 1,85,017 households, and verification is in progress. Under a special project for permanent housing for displaced families, 4,997 houses were sanctioned at a unit cost of Rs 3 lakh per household, with Rs 1.3 lakh from PMAY-G and remaining Rs 1.7 lakh from Home Department, out of which construction is underway for more than 3,000 houses. Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana continues to enhance rural connectivity and socio-economic developments in the state. Under PMGSY-1 and PMGSY-2, 4 works totaling to 2.86 km were completed during 25-26. Cumulatively, 1,931 works covering 10,898 km have been completed, connecting 622 habitations. Under PMGSY-3, 96 roads spanning 772 km were sanctioned at a cost of Rs 615 crore, while DPRs for approximately 300 works under PMGSY-4 are under preparation. Additionally, 8 roads totaling 35 km have been sanctioned under PM Janman at a cost of about Rs 40 crore, with works yet to be awarded. With a strong focus on women's empowerment, over 1.3 lakh women have been mobilized into approximately 13,000 self-help groups, forming 1,000 village-level federations and 22 cluster-level federations, collectively creating over 10,000 Lakpati Didis. A significant milestone was recently achieved with the approval of the MSRLM HR manual, a long-pending issue that was received appreciation from the Union Ministry. My government continued to implement welfare programs aimed at protecting and uplifting vulnerable sections of society, with focused interventions to strengthen care, protection, awareness and service delivery across the state. Under the Atal Vayo Abhyodaya Yojana, a statewide awareness campaign promoted dignity and care for senior citizens. While the state achieved full district coverage of old age homes, including the selection of proposal for 2 new homes for Tamenglong district, in addressing substance abuse, 25 integrated rehabilitation centers for addicts are operational, supported by 35 registered trust de-addiction centers, including 5 registered in 2025. For persons with disabilities, the launch of the Launchfao app enhanced communication access for the hearing impaired, while assessment camps held under ADIP and Rashtriya Vayashri Yojana at different locations identified over 1,700 beneficiaries for assistive devices. Anganwadi coverage was expanded, particularly in PVTG areas under PM Janman. Construction was completed for 13 Anganwadi centers in Senapati and 12 centers in Kankopi, with foundation stone laid for 50 Anganwadi centers in Senapati. 341 Anganwadi centers have been newly co-located with schools and construction of 740 Anganwadi centers approved under SASKI. The supplementary nutrition program was strengthened through near universal FSSAI registration of Anganwadi centers, improved local menus and pilot initiatives reflecting sustained focus on child and maternal nutrition. Women-centric initiatives included observance of National Girl Child Day, International Women's Day, Swachhta Hi Seva activities, capacity building of women, helpline and one-stop center functionaries, and awareness through culturally rooted performances. Under Mission Vatsalya, special outreach programs for IDP children were conducted. Veer Bal Divas was observed state-wise and achievements of children from childcare institutions were recognized. Adoption services were expanded with the establishment of 7 new government-run specialized adoption agencies, while proactive measures led to prevention of child marriages and statewide observance of the pledge against child marriages. Remarkable progress was made in skill development, employment and youth empowerment through various initiatives. Under the Specified Skilled Workers Program, 42 individuals including IDPs and children from self-help group families secured placements in Japan, with 15 more scheduled in early 2026 to work in sectors like nursing and hospitality. To support this, an MOU was signed to establish a Japanese language training center at Manipur University. Awareness campaigns and media outreach have encouraged youth participation, while engagements with JICA and Kagawa Prefecture are strengthening human resource collaborations in nursing, agriculture and construction sectors. Under PMKVY 4.0, placements for 500 youths achieved. India's Skill Competition 2025, Manipur produced multiple regional medalists, with 6 advancing to national level. National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme 2.0 was launched statewide with workshops and Mela planned. In collaboration with Tata Strive, IDP youth received free skill training with assured placement. All government ITIs are now NCVET affiliated, with around 900 students enrolled under various trades. First dedicated girls hostel was inaugurated at Women ITI Takyal. Campus placements of around 50 trainees were facilitated with industry partners, while several graduates started enterprises under PM Vishwakarma scheme. Focus on deregulation and compliance reduction continue to ease processes for businesses and citizens. Honorable members, my government remains steadfast in promoting inclusive growth through industrial development, MSME support, artisan empowerment and expanded trade and market linkages. Under PM Gati Shakti, 40 additional industrial units at Tera Urak, Bishnupur and Salemthar, Chandel at an approved cost of Rs 36 crore are under construction, with construction of 3 effluent treatment plants in Impal West, Bishnupur and Kakching completed. The PM Vishwakarma scheme has empowered traditional artisans and craftspeople, particularly women, SC, ST, OBC communities and residents of hilly areas and northeastern region states. Over 91,000 applications were received, 11,165 beneficiaries completed training, 2,085 loans sanctioned and 1,747 toolkits distributed. The PMEGP enabled the establishment of micro enterprises. Close to 2,000 applications were received, out of which about 1,600 were linked with banks, with 215 projects sanctioned by banks and a strong pipeline of 789 further applications. The RAMP program, supported by the World Bank, conducted extensive outreach, capacity building and market linkage initiatives benefiting over 27,000 MSMEs, including women-led enterprises with branding, packaging, tourism-linked programs and digital marketing support. Entrepreneurship training continued with 69 trained during the year, with 120 trained through mobile food processing programs. 2 HADP projects for tea processing center at Tamenglong and an integrated horti agri processing center at None were completed. Manipur actively promoted trade and investment at national platforms. At the Rising Northeast Summit 2025, 8 MOUs worth over rupees 8,060 crore were signed, and the state showcased GI tagged and indigenous product at the World Food India 2025, the Shanghai Festival and the India International Trade Fair, generating substantial sales and national visibility. The state also facilitated exposure for local cinema and creative talent at the Waves 2025 Summit, promoting collaboration and industry linkages. Moneytax 2025 attracted delegates from 16 countries, generated trade worth over rupees 7 crore and secured export orders of rupees 4.9 crore. GI status was granted for Moirang fee, Wangkei fee, Shafi Lampi, and even additional products are being prepared for registration. Initiatives such as Chief Minister's Yan scheme, welfare enrollment under PMJJBY and PMSBY, and state handloom awards further strengthen the sector. To strengthen infrastructure, productivity and market outreach, 34 cluster centers and 1 mega handloom cluster are being managed under NSDP, with 3,000 advanced looms distributed, 350 workshops constructed and 21 common workshops underway. Special focus was placed on livelihood support for IDPs, including supply of looms and toolkits, procurement of products from 1,636 IDPs, free stalls at marketing events, and hands-on training in selected trades at relief camps. State proudly hosted a series of state-level festivals celebrating the richness and diversity of our heritage. These events have provided meaningful opportunities for artisans, youth, and local enterprises, while attracting visitors and showcasing Manipur to the wider world, thereby contributing to economic revival and fostering a sense of community and shared pride. Festivals such as Manipur Shanghai Festival, Shirui Festival, Orange Festival, and Barak Festival were successfully organized, with Manipur tourism continuing to be promoted at various national and international platforms. In line with developing tourist infrastructure, foundation stones were laid for several key projects totaling about rupees 42 crore, namely infrastructure development around the Polo Ground, Ribudao, Marjing, Hengang, Imphal East, Barak Heritage Festival and tourism infrastructure at Koide Bilsho Village, Senapati, eco-tourism sites at Mantri Pukri, Kongang, Makhong and Kaina Hillock, Imphal East. The construction of the Hill Chief Guest House at Imphal East was inaugurated, while development of the Shirui Heritage Village and Bakshi Ground at Ukrul has been approved under SASKI scheme at a total cost of about rupees 65 crore. New proposals have also been submitted seeking further financial assistance to expand tourism infrastructure. During 25-26, Manipur successfully hosted and participated in the 68th edition of National School Games as well as 134th edition of Durand Cup. During the prestigious Shanghai Festival, the 15th Manipur Polo International Tournament was held, with India B, Manipur beating Colombia 8-5 in the finals, underscoring the state's polo legacy. The state secured 11th position at the 30th National Games of India, 5th position in the 60th National School Games 24-25, 8th position in Khelo India Youth Games 2025, and 1st position at the Khelo India Beach Games 2025. At the international qualification stage, Manipur made a historic contribution to Indian women's hockey, with 10 Manipuri players forming part of the championship-winning Indian team at the Asian Women's Championship Qualifier 2025. Some of the projects such as construction of mini stadium at None district, multipurpose indoor hall at Mayang, Imphal are in completion stage. Manipur's rich and unique traditions and cultural heritage remain a source of pride and force for unity across communities. Showcasing the vibrancy on national platforms, the state's tableau featuring Shagol Kangjai was displayed at Bharat Parv, Red Fort during Republic Day 2025 and GI tagged agriculture products during the Republic Day Parade 2026. Manipur's cultural presence was also showcased at Ekta Parade and Bharat Parv in Gujarat. The second Ekholgi Imphal International Film Festival 2025 was successfully organized. A national seminar on the celebrated theatre maestro Ratan Thiam was organized. Efforts to preserve and promote intangible heritage continue, with a proposal for Lai Haroba submitted to the Sangeet Natak Academy for nomination to UNESCO's representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Further, the development of Laishang Hidden Eastern Side Phase 1 was inaugurated, strengthening the infrastructure for cultural engagement and celebration. In 2025, Manipur faced severe floods. Immediate relief measures were undertaken, including relief camps and essential supplies, with financial assistance being expedited to affected families. As a long-term measures, flood and landslide mitigation projects were launched under the State Disaster Mitigation Fund, and work on a flood early warning system is underway. Capacity building efforts trained thousands of volunteers, teachers and cadets in disaster response, while Operation Abhyas, mock drills and procurement of rescue equipment strengthened preparedness. Forest fire and landslide mitigation initiatives were implemented, and a prompt response was coordinated to mitigate the Soko Valley fire, reflecting sustained commitment to safeguarding lives and property. Forest fire risk mitigation project in 49 villages across 10 districts of Manipur are being implemented under funding from NDMA. Since 2020, the e-office system has transformed administrative governance in Manipur, covering 184 government entities and enrolling 3,818 employees. With over 97,000 e-files and 5.5 lakh DAC processed in the e-system, the system has improved transparency, record security and efficiency across the state. The 10.85 hectare IT Special Economic Zone at Mantripukri, managed by Cyber Corporation Manipur Limited, anchors the state's IT vision. The Rs 418 crore World Bank funded MIND project has moved into implementation stage to promote digital entrepreneurship and secure e-governance infrastructure. The MTI Hub has incubated 75 startups, facilitated Rs 7.5 crore funding for 30 startups, and enabled the creation of 50 companies. Building number 1 was inaugurated, and this 1.48 lakh square foot facility is designed to host a green data center, AI lab, cyber security training center, startup support center, a 1,000 seat BPO, and office space for IT films. Building number 2 under PM Divine is under construction and is expected to accommodate 2,500 IT professionals. SWAN continues to provide seamless connectivity for government offices, while e-services Manipur is enhancing citizens' access, and State Data Center continues to serve as a secure repository for state's digital assets. Over the past year, transformative progress was made towards efficient and transparent land administration in Manipur. Online payment of land revenue was launched for all computerized and land records, easing the burden on landowners, enhancing revenue collection and enabling real-time monitoring. Computerization of land records is now complete for 561 of 604 revenue villages in the valley, with the remaining villages expected to be digitized soon. Land acquisition for key infrastructure projects was also expedited, including railways, national highways, Imphal Ring Road and border fencing and roads along the Indo-Myanmar frontier. Cadastral maps from 1960 surveys have been fully digitized, providing a transparent system for plot identification, verification and dispute resolution. In the coming months, revenue cases management across all courts will be streamlined with standard software ensuring easy tracking, improved record keeping and a modern responsive land governance system. Aligned with the national cooperative reforms, PACs in Manipur are adopting model bylaws and are being digitized under the computerization of PACs project, covering till date 232 societies at a total cost of about Rs 9 crore, with hardware support provided to 215 PACs so far. Computerization of RCS offices across all districts has also progressed, strengthening the cooperative governance. Financial assistance and support of Rs 18 lakh was provided to 36 primary cooperatives, Rs 2 lakh to Manipur Apex Handloom Weavers and Handicrafts Artisans Cooperative Society, and rupees 5.17 crore to 22 fishery cooperatives for livelihood development. During 2025, my government intensified its outreach through impactful multimedia campaigns, including awareness on responsible use of social media and countering misinformation promotion of major cultural and tourism events and national campaigns, and publicized key national engagements, including the Prime Minister's and Honorable President of India's visit through live telecast and curated visual content. My government continued to advance science and innovation and practical technology with focused outreach to students, educators, innovators, and women. InnoTech Fest 2025 served as a flagship platform showcasing student and startup innovations through exhibitions, robotics, science demonstrations, and awareness, fostering a strong culture of creativity and scientific inquiry. Renewable energy adoption was strengthened through installation of solar water heaters in government schools and hostels across hill and valley areas. Entrepreneurship development program for IDPs, unemployed youth, and women from SC/ST communities enabled 380 women to acquire income-generating skills, supporting livelihoods and sustainability. During 2025, Gazette publication shifted entirely to digitally signed e-gazettes, with physical printing discontinued and a dedicated e-gazette portal launched to provide real-time, searchable public access. Building on these initiatives, the Directorate of Printing and Stationery was formally declared the first paperless Directorate of Government of Manipur. An AI-based conversational search system is proposed as the next step to further enhance citizen access and usability. Honorable members, in conclusion, I look forward to the wholehearted support and cooperation of this August House in ensuring a productive and constructive year ahead. I am confident that the new year will renew our collective resolve to uphold and strengthen our age-old tradition of coexistence, unity and harmony, laying a firm foundation for a peaceful and prosperous Manipur. Thank you very much, Chair.
Hoji House asi photo session amasung Haiti ni dama kung amagi ta mejon tok jere lengsen biriba kung saru ga bina ba haijin